Next one, a little bit overhyped, I think. Got really overhyped during the pandemic. An Ultimate Fallout 4 in a 9.8. In the first print, there is now 4,103 of them in a 9.8 on the census. So over 4,000. I know when I purchased mine in 2019, there were like 1,700 or something like that. And the ratio, which is, you know, kind of concerning and kind of makes me think it's overhyped. It's a 26.1% right now, which is actually pretty decent for a modern book, but it hasn't really trended down or ticked down over time. I remember, you know, grabbing mine when there was 1,700 of them. It was about the same ratio. Yeah, maybe it was like 27% or something like that, but it was right in the mid-20s. And a lot of times when a heavily graded book is graded all the time, the 9.8 percentage kind of slowly ticks lower. And the lower the better with these 9.8 ratios and percentages. Like for this one, Ultimate Fallout 4, about 1 in 4 of them are sent to CGC, are 9.8, so 26.1% of them. So it hasn't really trended down, the 9.8 ratio. Now there's over 4,000 of them, a little bit overrated, I think, on Ultimate Fallout 4 in the first print. They're selling for about $1,300. So, you know, if you don't have this one, I wouldn't blame you if you kind of got in there right now. During the pandemic, they got over 3,000 for a second there. That was when it was really overhyped. So, you know, it is definitely a better time to buy than mid-pandemic for an Ultimate Fallout 4. But you know what? I think an alternative to an Ultimate Fallout 4, you know, instead of the new Spider-Man on the block, maybe check out the new Batman. Yeah, Batman Beyond #1 is such a better collector item, I think, in a 9.8. I'm a huge Batman Beyond fan, so maybe I'm a little biased, but definitely the numbers say it's a better 9.8. There's a 476 in the 9.8 on the census. A 1 of 476 is just feeling like a great collector item. And 24.8% is the 9.8 ratio, so a little bit lower on the 9.8 ratio, which both of them are good for modern comics. They're solid ratios, but Batman Beyond is not nearly as heavily graded. So, you know, if Batman Beyond was as heavily graded as Ultimate Fallout 4, I bet the ratio would be like 18% or something like that. And yeah, Batman Beyond, good reason to think it's a little bit lower printed. It's kind of got the WB Kids thing on the cover, so I don't think people were thinking, oh, this is going to be like a huge key. And you know, they were just throwing them to the kids to color on or whatever it might be. But yeah, so for that reason, it's a little bit lower printed. It's a pretty tough one in a 9.8. And a 1 of 476 is just so much better than a 1 of 4,103. Yeah, there's just so many Ultimate Fallout 4s. That book just blew up during the pandemic, and it's just kind of makes it overhyped right now.